Hello and welcome back to a brand new girl talk video. It's been a minute since I dropped the video. Life has been lifing. I have been really busy with life, doing stuff, and so I just haven't had the time. I was supposed to record last week and then I just didn't have the time. So here I am. Make sure you have your notifications on because I will be dropping a new video like every day next week. That's my goal. Maybe not every single day, but like 4 new videos next week minimum. So I do plan on dropping a lot of stuff next week, so make sure you have your notifications on and stuff like that. But so this video, I wanted to do another girl talk video, giving my opinion on things that's going on in the world. Excuse me if I sound a little stuffy and like sick. I am sick. I got sick on, today's Friday, I got sick on, I want to say like Tuesday. I had a really bad cold, I had a really bad sore throat, stuffy nose. My sore throat is gone, but I still have a kind of like a stuffy nose, so it's kind of hard for me to breathe. So if you can hear that, I'm really, really sorry. I'm trying to get better, y'all, but you know, you can only do so much. So let's get into these topics. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is a video that went viral on the internet like 2 weeks ago, and it was very interesting as in controversial that people even think this way, because it was just like, to me it's like, what are we doing? The video that I'm talking about is this girl. She went viral for saying that she would date her friends' ex-boyfriends, that she has no problem dating her friends' exes, that she actually lets her friends know, like if you know, if she's becoming friends with somebody, like she lets them know, like, if your ex tries to talk to me, I'm gonna talk to him if I want to talk to him. So let me go ahead and play the video so you guys can know what I'm talking about.
Curious, but
Exactly.
she knows that you're talking to him. She should just, do you know what I mean, chill in the ranks, no?
Yeah. She
I
tried
guess that's
it.
a girl code thing that's different to like guys.
Do you know
I
what
don't
mean?
believe in girl code.
Do you not?
Oh, why not?
It's just like, I'm not gonna not talk to someone because you spoke to them.
Really?
Yeah.
So what if, like in the scenario that I just gave,
Obviously, that's
would that-
different because
okay.
you're actively talking to them.
Okay.
I'm talking about like past
like
situations.
an ex. Okay.
Like I will date my friend's ex.
Would you ask for permission?
It depends. It depends.
You date your friend's ex?
I've done it before.
Girl,
Really? That's interesting.
And I've told a lot of my girls that I'll do it, so they know my standpoint on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so
I
interesting.
don't believe in that. I think it's silly.
So that was the video that went viral, and it was causing a lot of controversy, and it was just, let me play her response because I had to go look and see like did she really mean that? Like, is she really serious? So this was her response on TikTok, you guys.
Hey guys, so I'm just gonna make this one video to respond to all the comments. Like, I understand that it's quite a wild statement and a lot of people don't agree with it, and I'm absolutely fine with that, but I'm not a robot. I'm not going to follow what the masses think. I have my own opinions and I stand by them. That's first of all. Second of all, I'm in my 30s, right? So I'm more talking about exes that you've dated when you were 17, 18. Like, I'm not being funny. If you dated somebody in college, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to not speak to that person because you dated them in college. Bearing in mind, I don't actually, even though I have dated a friend's ex before, that situation, like, she was okay with it. It wasn't like, do you know what I mean? It was okay. And me and that person ended up being together for a very long time. So, like, I think, like, obviously there's terms and conditions like that apply to this particular thing that I'm saying. I feel like when you get older, you don't really care about these kind of things. Like, obviously I'm not gonna date somebody that you dated yesterday, and it's not a thing where, like, whilst you're in the relationship, I'm like, hey, wait until she's finished with that boy, I'm gonna deal with him. Like, and that's like, that's not what it is. It's just kind of like, I'm not going to shut it down straight away just because they're your ex. If I have a very close friend and then I happen to meet somebody that she dated and, you know, she's just like, I'm uncomfortable with it. Me and my friends, we go together real bad. Like, I'm not going to date that man because she's uncomfortable with it. But I'm saying that I'm not, you know, a lot of people are like, no, straight away. That's not my stance. I'm not no straight away. I'm more like, I will think about it. Get it? Good. Obviously, like, I know that it's not something that a lot of people will necessarily agree with, and like I said, I'm okay with that, but most of you do it and just don't own up to it anyway, so have a good day.
Now, her response was really interesting to me because I feel like she kind of, well, she did clarify what she meant. Do I think that it makes it better? Personally, no, I don't. Because we can try to minimize our relationships that we've had when we were teenagers in college or whatever as much as we want to. But usually those relationships that we have like in our early teens, like, you know, we're like 18, 19, like 20, 21, 22, like in that age, is usually our first everything. Like, it's usually, you know, our first time we fell in love with somebody. It's usually somebody that we thought, you know, the high school first love, college first love, like that's a love that you really don't ever forget, because that's like your first time when you get to experience those things. Like, yes, it was when I was 18, but I would definitely would feel some type of way if my friend came up to me and was like, oh, I want to date your ex that you were with in high school when you were a senior in high school. I would be like, no. Why would you want, like, that was my first love. Like, that's so weird. I guess the question is there girl code when it comes to situations like this, or just girl code in general? And my opinion on that is that there is no such thing as girl code. We don't have girl code. I feel like we as women, we like to comfort ourselves in saying that there is girl code. We like to pretend that there is. We always see this topic come up when there's like side chicks involved and stuff like that, where we're talking about girl code, girl code, girl code. And I just don't believe that there is girl code. I feel like us women, the majority of women, I'm not saying everybody, but I'm saying like the majority of women have a very competitive type of spirit. And it's not our fault. It's kind of like how we've been taught to be with each other through societal norms and standards. Like, it's not really our fault. The reason why I don't really believe that there is girl code is because we tend to put a lot of blame on women when relationships go wrong. Like, you will see all the time when there's a marriage that fails or a relationship that fails, you will always see the woman who got cheated on or whatever blame the side chick more than the husband. You know, they'll take the husband back, they'll forgive him, and you'll see girls fall out with their friends for anything. Like, so I don't really believe that there is girl code, because I don't really feel like women usually, majority of women, again, I'm talking in general speaking, societally speaking, not individual, we're talking as a whole. Women do not put their friendships above their romantic relationships. A lot of women hold a lot more value in their romantic relationships more than their friendships. And that's just the honest truth. There's so many times that you will see women talking about they will have a great career, they'll have great friendships, great relationships with their parents, and they'll be like, oh, but I don't have a man. Like, everything that they work for, everything that's important to them doesn't matter because they don't have a man or they're not in a relationship. Like, women put a lot more value on their romantic relationships than men do. Men do not do that. Men do not put more value on their romantic relationships over their friendships. They just don't do that. They're not taught to be that way neither. Men are taught to be more focused on their career. That's just the way society has worked. I think it's really weird to like want to date someone that your friend dated or being open to that, because it's just like there's so many men in this world. Like, literally, you can go outside on a bad day and get like 5 phone numbers if you really wanted to. Knowing that like a man was messing with my friend at some point in time, y'all did something or y'all were talking or whatever the case may be, I'm not gonna go talk to him. There's too many options of men for me to choose from. Why would I go talk to somebody that possibly did something, you know, with my friend, or talk to my friend, or at some point my friend and this person thought there were something? Like, I'm just not doing that. See, I think that's a little weird. I feel like that would put my friend in a weird position too as well. Like, no, like, it's just really, really strange. Me personally, I'm not doing nothing like that. Like, I'm just not doing something like that. There's too many men to choose from to be doing stuff like that. Literally go outside. Literally go outside. Literally. So the next thing that I want to talk about is this topic. And the reason I want to talk about this is because I don't like the way this conversation is going. I think it's really nasty the way it's going. But Ari had tweeted, "It's everybody being a pastor on Instagram. If you have truly found God, I love that for you. But all this extra ish y'all doing is annoying, and I feel like y'all are playing with God." This tweet was just, I feel like a lot of people have been saying stuff like this. Now, I don't know who she was directing this to. I know that she was into it with Alexis Sky and the makeup artist Olivia song at one point. And I know that they're both have been very spiritual on their social media pages. I will say, me personally, I don't really care for Olivia's song. Now, I don't even, is that her name, Olivia? I'm just call her Olivia because I don't know her last name. I think it's Song, but I'm gonna just call her Olivia. I don't really care for her, and this is why. Like, I personally don't like religious people who are the very judgy, who are the very you're going to hell type of religious people. And that's the vibe she gives me. She gives me very judgmental vibes, and just that type of weird religious type. And I personally feel like that's just not my style. I like the more compassionate religious people, because I just feel like that's the way you should approach religion. I don't feel like anyone should be here to judge others. Like, we're all, you know what I'm saying, we all have our skeletons in our closet, and like, who are we to judge? But she just gives me that type of vibe. And personally, I've been following Alexis Sky, and I really like her journey, because her journey is that it's like more inviting. I don't feel like hers is like I feel like hers was like her personal journey for real, and then she kind of just decided, like, I'm just gonna show everybody what I've been working on and what I've been doing, and people have been gravitating to it, and I feel like for a good reason. Like, I know she recently had a retreat where she had a bunch of like women there, and like they were praying and healing, and like she has like a page where she's posting scriptures and all this stuff, and I personally like that. You know, I feel like that's more inviting, and it's just more loving and caring. And when I think about God and I think about Jesus, I like to think of him of being a really caring, loving person. And so that's what I tend to gravitate more. I like to gravitate to people that are more caring, empathetic, nurturing, and that's just what I get from that. And I don't really get that from Olivia. But I don't know who Ari was directing this to, but I just feel like it's such a nasty thing to say for many reasons. I feel like it's pretty normal for people when they like start to go through like their healing and like their spiritual journey to be posting a lot more about God and like, you know, spiritual things and stuff like that, because you start to realize a lot of things, and you start to like really learn a lot about yourself and learn a lot about God and stuff like that. And like, it's normal for people to like be excited over it, because it's like you're learning all of this new information that you just didn't really understand until now. And it's a really beautiful thing. I feel like it's a very beautiful experience for people to go through. And I don't think it's anything wrong with people being happy and joyful about it and excited about it and posting about it. Like, we can post about all the stuff, all the bad stuff we do. We can post about all the drinking, all the smoking, all the hookah smoking, all the twerking, all this and that. But the moment you decide to post about God or post about your healing or your spiritual journey or whatever the case may be, it's like people look at you sideways. And it's kind of just interesting how that always happens to people, right? Like, the moment they want to be a little bit more in tune with themselves in a different light, It's like people have a problem with it, and it's just really, really messed up. And if she is directing that to Alexis Sky, I just can't imagine not liking somebody so much that I find an issue with them finding God in their life. Like, out of all the things that I could not like somebody for, like, that's the last thing I'm gonna say something about. Like, that's like the last thing on my mind, like, personally. Like, I'm not judging somebody for that. And I kind of feel how Alexis Sky could probably be feeling right now, because I feel like I'm going through the same thing. Like, as y'all know, like, I've been really transparent about the fact that I've been going through my healing journey. And if y'all have never been through an intense healing journey, let me tell you, it is a very, very, very nasty, very emotionally and mentally, and just a very draining, long journey. Like, I'm still going through it, and I've been pretty transparent about, you know, what I've been going through and stuff like that. And it really, like, I've been going through this journey now since like June of last year. But, you know, healing is an ongoing process. Like, you're healing decades of trauma, decades of things that you've been going through, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to go through it. And that's why a lot of people don't heal, because it's so much work, and you have to be so honest and real with yourself, and it's a very uncomfortable thing. I've been going through it since last year, since June, and it all started when, you know, me and this person had broken up, and he had did some really messed up things to me, like really messed up things to me. And it kind of forced me to just look at a lot of stuff. And it was like, I feel like the breakup is like, it like poked the bear. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had so many issues that I have been repressing and like suppressing and like ignoring. Because that's one thing about me, I'm a big ignorer. Like, I will ignore things till they go away. And I feel like I've been doing that all my life. And this breakup that I went through kind of just made me look at everything. So not only was I healing from that, you know, that betrayal from that person, that because he did some really, really hurtful things to me, but then I started going back to my childhood and things that had some very traumatic things that happened to me when I was a kid, some really traumatic things that happened to me when I was a teenager, some very traumatic things that happened to me when I was in college. And I feel like I've been trying to ignore a lot of this stuff for so long that it was kind of like, no, like, we can't ignore this any longer. Like, we can't ignore this stuff anymore. It's all just keeps coming up. It keeps coming up. That's why you keep having all these problems with people, because you keep ignoring all this stuff. And until you fix all this stuff here, you're never gonna have a healthy relationship with somebody. You're never gonna have a good relationship with your family. You're never gonna have a good relationship with people, period, if you don't heal this stuff. And so for like the past couple of months, you know, I had to go through that journey of having to heal myself. And it is a journey where you have to just do it by yourself. You can't have nobody. Like, I really went through a period of like straight isolation. I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't speak to nobody. I wouldn't go out nowhere. And it wasn't that I didn't want to go out anywhere or be around people. It was that I can't do this right now. I need to literally fix what's going on in my mind, in my spirit, in my soul, that I can't even be around people. Like, I can't do it. It's a very lonely journey, but in that journey, I started, you know, getting closer to God, because even though I had to be by myself physically, spiritually, I don't have to be by myself when I go through this. And I'm not by myself when I go through this, you know? And so I started getting closer to God. And it's been a beautiful thing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I grew up religious. I'm Mexican, so, you know, Mexican households were super Catholic. You know, that's how I was born and raised. This was in a Catholic household. But I always felt like religion was kind of like something that was kind of just something that you were kind of forced to follow. And that's kind of how I felt with religion. Like, when I was a child, I don't really remember being excited for it. I kind of just remember it being kind of like a chore and just something that I had to do. Like, I had to pray with my mom. I had to go to church. It wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. And then when some really traumatic things happened to me in my childhood, and then when I was a teenager, I was kind of like questioning God. I was kind of like, if God is real, why is he putting me through all this stuff? Like, what did I do to deserve all this stuff? And I kind of just like shut him out of my life. And I was like, I'm not talking to him because I've been praying to you and you don't listen to me. So I stopped talking to him and stuff like that. And recently, when I was going through my journey, this is when I started, getting back close to him and talking to him again and praying to him again. And just reading the Bible, and I've been, going to church online because I don't have a physical church I go to. I'm still trying to figure out which church I want to go to physically. But like I visit a lot of like churches online, and I'll watch their sermons on Sundays. I listen to a lot of gospel music now. I pray every single day, like every single morning I'm praying. And when I tell y'all, it has been such a beautiful journey, and just like I've been feeling so much more like the last, like I want to say like 2 months, when I started taking my relationship with God more seriously, I've been feeling so much more at peace with things. Like so much more at peace with things. And so many things just make more sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, so like things just make more sense to me now. Like reading the Bible, there's so much wisdom and so much advice and just so much you can learn from the Bible. Like literally, like even if you're not really super religious, if you just read the Bible, if you're going through something, like if you want advice on something, like I promise you it's in the Bible. It's in the Bible. And it's just been great. And so like that's why I'm saying, like, I don't judge anybody who's going through their spiritual journey and like being excited about it, because I get it. Like it's an exciting thing when you finally get to that point and you see all that stuff. And so I think it's really messed up to judge people. I think it's really messed up to judge people for that. There's nothing wrong with that. We are not here to judge anyone. One thing that I read in a book that was it's called A Return to Love, and it's a really good book if you're want to get more in tune with like your spirituality and stuff like that, and I really recommend that book. But one thing that she talks about in there is like how we're always so quick as human beings to like judge other people for things and like blame people for stuff, right? How like we're very quick, like if a relationship doesn't work out, we're very quick to be like, well, he did this. And it's like, okay, cool. I'm glad you can pinpoint all the things that everybody else did wrong. But can you sit down and be honest with yourself and pinpoint all the things where you went wrong? Were you honestly a good girlfriend? Were you honestly a good friend to this person? Were you a good sister? Were you a good mom? Were you a good daughter? Like, we can't just always look at other people and what they do wrong and point the finger. Like, nobody here on this earth is perfect. So we have literally no room to judge anybody for anything at all. None. So that's just the way I'm like approaching life. Like before I judge somebody, I always think like, okay, I have a lot of things I need to work on before I go saying something about them. So thoughts get out of my head and focus on yourself. And that's just my mindset. And I just feel like that's how everybody should be, like worry about yourself. Are you really a good person? Like, I'm pretty sure there's things that you can work on. Go work on that. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is an announcement of something that I am working on, that I'm so excited to be working on. And it is this book club that I'm starting, and it is called Between the Lines Book Club. Now, I really had no plans on starting this, like, at all. This was not in like my goal plan for 2023 to start a book club. It kind of just happened. I have been, for like the past couple of months now, I post all the books that I'm reading and like what I'm reading, and I'll post quotes and stuff like that. And people have always asked me like, post what books you're reading, or can you give me book recommendations? And then in the last month, I've gotten so many requests from people asking me if I would think about opening or starting a book club. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I would do that. And then when I had the third person ask me if I would start a book club, I was like, okay, this is a sign. Because I'm a big signs person. I feel like if more than one person is asking me for this thing, then there's a reason why they're asking me for this. And I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to go against it. I'm going to listen to what people are telling me. So 3 people asking me to start a book club back to back to back to back, I'm going to take it as a sign. I need to start a book club. So I decided to start a book club. It is called Between the Lines Book Club. And it is a book club that I'm planning on starting and launching it in April. I'm getting all the stuff on the works now, like how I want the schedule to be, the dates, what type of books I want to read, and starting off and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's gonna be an all women's online book club. So the reason I wanted to do an all women's book club is because I just wanted to read books that resonate with women more. I wanted to read a lot of books by women of color. I also wanted to read a little books that are like a little bit more relatable for women than men. And I just wanted something that's for women. Like, I feel more comfortable in a room of women talking about women's stuff than I do talking to men. Like, I wasn't opposed to having men in the book club, but a lot of men, when we were talking about like sexism and like patriarchy and stuff like that, misogyny, men just, they like to argue with us about our experiences as women. And I personally don't have the energy, nor do I have the desire to be the one that teaches men. This is not my cup of tea. I do see this becoming something else, but for right now, it's just a book club. The books that we're gonna be reading are gonna be revolving spirituality, self-development, feminism, womanhood, just things of that nature. So I would love for women, if you're watching this, if you're looking for something to join, go check out the Instagram. It's in my Instagram bio. It's at Between the Lines Book Club, but the book club is spelled BKCLB. So make sure you guys follow it. And then I'm gonna have the sign up membership page up in like the next 2 weeks. And then in April, we're gonna have our first meeting and we're gonna have our first book. I'm sorry, I'm sick. If I sound weird, I'm so sorry, y'all. But I'm really, really excited for this, and I just can't wait to just meet all these women and just connect with women on this level and just have these conversations with you guys about different topics and just see what everyone's viewpoint is. And hopefully, you know, you guys learn something from this and we become better women and better moms and sisters, daughters, friends, wives, whatever we are, you know, business women. I hope that we just come out of this better people, and hopefully we, you know, we make some friendships and build a little community in that space as well. So yeah, so that's my big announcement, and I can't wait to meet everybody. So yeah, so I can't really talk anymore. My nose is just really messing me up, you guys, so I'm gonna stop the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. All right, bye.